What's up, you guys? How you guys doing? Karibuni sana to my YouTube channel, to Wilkista Masharia YouTube channel. Lazima leo ningesema hiyo jina yangu juu saa zingine inafanyanga nisikia wow, like me, I don't know where my mom alitoa hiyo jina, cause hadi wa leo kuna mtu bado ananitanga Wilcrest. Akisema unaitwa Wilcrest, unaitwa nani? By the way, if you don't know how to pronounce someone's name, just tell them okay, don't tell them just tell them, madam, hi, don't start saying Wilcrest, Krista. And I've had that problem all my life, because there are people who found, just felt like my name was difficult. But if you don't know how to pronounce someone's name, usianze kumuita Wilcrest, unaanza kufuatilia watu huku majina. Just, call them something else, or ask them what their second name is, and their second name is always easy. Anyway, that's not what I'm talking about. Karibuni sana to my YouTube channel. And how is January day 60 taking you? By the way, January nowadays iko different. Yani hii ni ile January tulikuwa tunagongwa na jua, sasa hii tunagongwa na baridi. Who can understand these things? Who can understand this life? Who can? I mean, hizi vitu za Mungu hakuna mtu anaweza elewa. But I'm so glad this is January, and I'm so far so good. But I know you're wondering what in the afro is happening here. Guys, let me tell you, mimi sikupata memo. Kumbe memo ilikuwa January tunasukuma na braids. Sukuma wiki ya January ndo braids kwa madem. Ni unashuka braids day 1 zinafika mwisho, ndo mimi sasa tuko day 60. Nywele ishabomoka. Si kuanza na nyinyi day 1. Sasa ndo nashangaa form ni gani, nianze wapi, na ni day 60. Na we still have 60 more days to go. Anyway, we are pressing on into adulting. Manze adulting. I think I should actually do a topic on adulting, because adulting is not funny sometimes. Adulting is not funny sometimes. But welcome to my YouTube channel. Let's get straight into some chat. Now, guys, I was having a random conversation with a friend, and she told me, you know what? This year, as I'm writing my goals down, my resolutions down, and as I strive to be better in this and better in that, I think I've come to a conclusion that if someone called me a mediocrity in one area, no, just a mediocre generally, I'd not be so much offended. I'd be fine. And I was like, what? You're okay with someone calling you a mediocre? But then after we had that discussion, I thought to myself, in my mind, I had a me with me conversation later, and I thought in my mind, you know what? Actually, mediocrity is in the eyes of the beholder. So guys, this is the question. Is it ever okay to be called a mediocre? Or is it ever okay to feel like you're a mediocre? Would you be offended if someone called you a mediocre? Now, this is my perspective, guys. And you know me, it doesn't mean that my perspective is right, because I'm just one of those women who just like talking and sharing my perspective, and I'm very opinionated. So here is my opinion, guys. When I thought about that, I actually thought to myself, you know what? Mediocrity is in the eyes of the beholder. Mediocrity is subject. Do we say subjective? Mediocrity is it a subjective or objective? Okay, and it depends. Mediocrity is in the eyes of the beholder. Why am I saying that? This is it, guys. I think we are living in a society where people judge what we do by the success. Judge the standards of mediocrity is based on the success that we have, based on the things that we have, based on how popular that we are. There are people who judge success using that. But according to me, success is happiness. When I'm happy, when I feel like, you know what, I'm doing something that I love, I'm happy about that. I feel I'm enough in that area. I am happy with what I'm doing. That is all. It's fine. It doesn't matter whether 2 people liked it, whether 100 people liked it. It doesn't matter whether I'm popular, whether I'm not. It doesn't matter whether I have all the cars. But as long as I'm happy, I don't think that's mediocrity. And I think what's important is we should not let people define. We should not let people define what is it called. We should not let people define us. We should not let people define where we are. We should not let people define the things that we are passionate about and judge us and tell us, you know what, I think she's a mediocre. And guys, the reason as to why I'm saying mediocrity is in the eyes of the beholder is when it comes to let me just speak on my behalf. Let me just speak on my behalf, because guys, when it comes to mediocrity, when it comes to the things that I love, when it comes to let's go on the other side first. When it comes to things like cooking, when it comes to things like swimming, I am, you know, I may not be super passionate about that. Like, yeah, I'm good enough to get you fed, you won't starve, but I am not super passionate, and I don't really quite excel in that area. But when it comes to, and you know, to some extent someone may think, you're a mediocre in that area, but no, I'm still a work in progress. I still want to be a better person. I'm just not that good in it. But when it comes to things like bringing a vibe, being energetic, bringing a certain energy, cracking a joke, I think I'd be offended if someone thought I'm a mediocre in that area, because I take pride in that. That is the willow that I love. That is the willow that, you know what, that is the willow that I take pride in. That is, you know, that is where I think I'm at the top of it when it comes to that. So guys, it's you know, when people tell us that no, you're a mediocre because you're not that, you're a mediocre because you know, you may not be Kevin Hart, but you're the Churchill of Kenya. You may not be who? You may not be Jeff. By the way, ati Elon Musk just overtake Jeff Bezos. Si ati sijifanyi najua hizi vitu, but mimi niko kai, watu watoa wapi pesa? Yani time ya corona alipata hiyo do yote saini. Anyway, it is fine. You may not be Mark Zuckerberg, you may not be Elon Musk, you may not be the richest in Kenya, but you're good, you're happy with what you're doing. So it's all about understanding the lanes, understanding where you are. It's all about knowing, you know what, this is my lane, this is what I'm gonna walk in, this is what I'm you know, I'm gonna try work on that, and it's fine if people call me a mediocre in that. But I think it's not fine when people call us mediocres, even in things, you know, just generalize and say, you're a mediocre, just because that, I'm not good in that, I'm not good at doing that, and I'm good in this. You're like, no, you're a mediocre. No, mediocrity is in the eyes of the beholder. And let me tell you guys, people really judge. People are really judging out here. Let me tell you guys, and nilikuwa natoka salon juzi to undo my hair, and then when I'm working, nikitembea tu hivyo nimetuck in, and I was going back to job haraka, and I like tucking in. Kuna mama wengine walikuwa nyuma yangu, nikasikia akisema wako wanajua nasikia Kikuyu, wakasema ati tuende tutwa bikoishi nane ati mademo wa squeeze na venye mtu ni mkonda lakini bado anataka kutake watu heje tedie neke tuenda kuonania. Me, I'm like, what's your problem? What's your problem? Me, I'm happy. Now you're just being a mediocre. That is your opinion. And and by the way, these guys who judge how people look, you're body shaming people, you're judging them by how they look. Let me tell you, how you judge people, if you're the kind that judge people about body shaming, that is not on me. That's on you. That's your opinion. That is none of my business. That's not on me. That's mediocrity on you. Because you can be out there and you're just like telling people at huyu anakaa hivi, hafai kufanya hivi, ni ujinga tu, ni hapana. If people are happy with what they are doing, people feel that they're enough with what they are doing, and I think it's okay to understand that we are a work in progress. I think it's okay to understand that, you know what, this is my lane and I'm working in it. I may not be Nani, I may not be Dani, but I'm this version of me. I may not be Auntie Jemima, but I am the funny version of me, you know. And this is just, it's just a matter of understanding my lane. So don't you ever feel like you're a mediocre when you know that in that area I'm a work in progress, but I'm perfect. Yes, know that, yeah, I excel in that, I am good in that. Don't let people define you because of that thing. Don't call yourself a mediocre because of that thing. It's okay to know. Let me tell you, in this world, I think in my mind, there is a place for everyone. And there is, you know, and it's just a matter of time before we get recognized in some of these things. But there is a place for everyone in this world. God does not leave anyone out. He's not gonna leave anyone out. So there is your lane, there is everything. And don't beat yourself this year saying that, I think I'm a mediocre, I think I'm a, you know, no, let me tell you, me, I'll be offended if someone calls me a mediocre, and I know I excel in a certain area. I'm a work in progress in that area, but at the same time, if there is an area that I'm really good at, I am gonna excel in that, and I'm just gonna say, you know what, I'm actually not a mediocre, I'm good in that. Don't let people define you. Don't let people define where you are. I think there's a place for everybody, there's time for everything, and we are all a work in progress, and with time we are gonna get better. So is it ever okay to feel like you're a mediocre. Let me tell you, you're not a mediocre. No one is a mediocre. You may suck at one thing, but on the other end, you're excelling at something, and it's just a matter of time before you perfect in that skill and then be good in this. So this year, don't beat yourself. Don't be so hard on yourself and say, guy, I think I'm a mediocre. And personally, I'm struggling with this myself, because sometimes I say, like, no, this is a YouTube channel. There is definitely a vision that I have in mind. There is where I want to go. I may have taken some time, and it's still taking some time even now, but I'm like, guy, by the in mediocrity, only can by the way, in I should do better. And sometimes we beat up. We just so hard on ourselves. But it's okay to say, you know what, for now, this is where I am. There is time for everything. There is a place for everyone in this world. And it's okay to say, you know what, and it's okay to tell me, you know what, I am not a mediocre. I am not a mediocre. I'm a work in progress. So guys, don't beat yourselves. Don't call yourself a mediocre. You're doing good. You're good. And you may not be perfect in that, but you're perfect in that. It's just a matter of time before you get a balance between the things. And I don't think don't judge people. People assume that the standard of, what is it called? People assume that the standard of success is by the amount of things that we have, is by how popular that we are, especially with this area of social media. No, that is not success. Success is being happy. Success is knowing that it doesn't matter whether I speak to 1,000 people. It doesn't matter whether 2 people know me, as long as I am happy and I think I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, and I'm trying, and I know that I'm a work in progress, as long as I'm doing my very best. That's not mediocrity. That is you being in your place. That is you walking in your lane. So is it offensive if someone called me a mediocre? Yes, it is, because I am trying hard, and I know that it's not all perfect, but I'm not gonna let you define who I am. I'm gonna go by my pace. I'm gonna run. I'm gonna be disciplined, and I'm gonna try be at it, but I'm gonna be telling myself that I'm gonna have the kind of attitude that says, you know what, no, I'm not a mediocre. I'm not a mediocre. I'm not gonna feel like I'm mediocre. I am trying hard. I'm trying to be the best version of myself. I'm exactly where I am supposed to be. And that's the attitude to have this year, knowing that you are not a mediocre. I feel like a preacher. But yeah, don't ever feel like you're mediocre. But also, don't strive for the lowest. Don't strive for the middle. Aim at being better at it. But if there's something that you know you're good at, take pride in that and be at the top of your game in that. This other thing, we will rise as we go. So yeah, this year, know in your heart and in your mind that you are not a mediocre. You are doing a good job, and it's just a matter of time before you get recognized. Don't be out here thinking that people are mediocres. Not be out here thinking that nani juu hako kama mimi ati mimi juu siko kama nani uko like kwani hapana. No, now you're doing your best and you're gonna be there. It's just a matter of time. Yeah, I'm also preaching to myself as I'm preaching to someone else. So yeah, you're not a mediocre. You're excelling at one thing and the other thing is catching up. Simple. Yeah. So mediocrity is in the eyes of the beholder. If you're happy, if you think that you're fine with where you are at the moment, you're not a mediocre. Yes. So see you next video on next week on my next video, and thank you very much. Bye. Have a good week.